The server's still not open. The server's still not open.
It's the second time today I've struck a pain in the backside with the mute. Okay, I can shut up my phone now. So, I was gabbering away then again, and of course forgot to unmute my PS5 controller. So, back in Starrail again, and before anyone wonders, no, Silverwolf hasn't hacked my game. This is my laptop PC playing of the game since version 1.1 back in June of this year. So I wanted to play on this account for this stream to show some more of the later stuff that we'll all have to prepare for if you're starting out today on PS5. So, of course, I have the new quest because the story chapter is much further progressed in this game. And I have a lot of companion missions that I still have to work through. But I've been taking my time with those. So, tonight I'm going to start off with some of the basics. So, let's head back out into the space station.
Time to log off. Head back.
As, oh, what's this? Okay. Okay. Huh. Okay. I didn't know that was a random achievement there, so there's something bonusy for starting the evening. So yeah, this is of course the location we're currently at, having just boarded the Astral Express on my other profile. But I've been doing a lot of work since started this on the laptop, so I have all the areas unlocked to be able to go wandering about and generally just have some chill. So, I guess first thing to start with is to talk about your old day-to-day stuff in the game. So, you of course got your menu wheel here. So I've customized this one, which I don't have the functionality for yet on the other profile, as I haven't reached the requirements for that. So got the old wish up here. Also have to gather up some primo gems for the old master plan. Then we have the character trial banner. So I made a few attempts to wish on this one. As you can see on this account, it has 164 out of the 300 towards my choice of 5-star. But your main menu that you'll be going into quite a bit is your old Interstellar guide, which we do have unlocked, but not the full functionality yet on my new game I've started. So this is your page for effectively your daily commissions. So most of the time you'll find you actually complete these naturally by wandering about, so you don't usually have to go out of your way to do anything. So here you just need to get 500 points to be able to claim your Stellar Jade daily rewards, etc. So here I've got use technique 2 times, which I've done. We enter battle with the correct weakness, 3 destructible objects. So I just need to level up 1 relic or clear a cavern of corrosion to finish off my daily rewards there. In terms of the operation briefing, which we do have unlocked, it's all complete on this account. 9 pages in total. So that's all going reasonably well. And then this is the main page you'll be going on to quite a bit in the later part of the game, as you have access to Simulated Universe, which I'll be going into shortly. Then you've got, this is the first of the domains that will unlock when you get to the first world, which I will show you in a moment. But here allows you to get your character level up materials. So you've got time for characters themselves here, light cones, and then if you're short of money, you can do this one. And then the second one that will unlock is your character ascension materials for their traces. So for each of the paths the characters have, you would just have to go to these domains to farm the materials you need for them. As unlike Genshin, it's there's nothing in the open world to collect. It's all done through the domains here. Then Stagnant Shadow is effectively the boss materials for the characters. So whichever path they're on, you just have to go and fight the respective boss. And the most important one, which I'll talk about again a bit later, is your artifact domains. But that doesn't really come into play until you reach Trailblazer level 35, which I'll come back to a bit later in the stream. And then, of course, you have the tutorial stuff here, which I haven't done yet, as that's all new from today. Excuse me. So, the one thing that's not unlocked yet on my other new game is all the materials up here. So, unlike Genshin, you have an extra resource in Starrail, which is reserved Trailblazer power. So this can go up to 2,400 points. Meaning that if you need to do some extra farming and you don't have enough resin, you can go on this and acquire some extra power for as it builds up every 8 minutes or so once your resin's fully replenished. And the other big difference, of course, is you have a lot more resin here because you have much more materials to farm. So it makes sense to give a higher resin count. And again, if you click on it, you can access the extra options. So you have the reserve power, your fuel, which is effectively your resin material that you get in Genshin. And then the normal Stellar Jades to trade some extra power. One good thing this game has, which Genshin doesn't have on console, is you can at least see how long it'll be before it fully recovers and the refresh time. So that's quite a good improvement. So the reason this is in recovery is I'd already done my farming on this earlier today. So, let's have a little look-see at the map. So I think I've found all the treasures around here. But I just wanted to have a look and see. So, yep, we found 8 out of 8 there, 10 out of 10, and 7 out of 7. So, each of these symbols you see here is one of the relevant domains. And you also have the Echo of War here, which again I'll talk about in a little bit, as I plan to go and do that in a short while. So, we may as well start with doing simulated universes. You will find you probably spend a lot of time here gathering resources, as from my experience at least I found it to be one of the best ways to obtain materials. And as one of Herta's puppets, as she calls them. And then you have this guy here, so he was part of an event earlier on, which I'll have to see whether we can redo that when I'm streaming the next time on my other account. And these memory bubbles will also give you an achievement if you touch all of them around the space station. So these are all long-term things that you can do. So that's another one done. So let's head back into Herta's office. So if I go look at the archive here, you can see I've got quite a lot of, spent quite a lot of time in here. And you have three, you have 3 different things that will be happening. So you've got your blessings that you collect here by playing through Simulated Universe. And then you have the events, so the little text dialogues that pop up on the screen. And then you have curios, which will give you buffs and perks in the Simulated Universe world. So I still have quite a few of these to unlock. And a few preferred favorites. And then you have the Aeons here. So they give you a little story chapter. Excuse me. Let me just mark these off again. All marked as new because first I'm looking at it since going over to the console. I'm really impressed with the console version. Definitely very happy to play it on my console, as much easier than having to tinker with the laptop settings. So, I don't think there's anything else here. Oh, I never noticed these before, though. Interesting. And nothing happens with that machine at the moment. And then you have Herta, of course. She has quite the ego, it would seem. So, a simulated universe, once it's fully unlocked, is also a place you'll be farming artifacts for. Because artifacts are a bit more complex than in Genshin, but fairly straightforward once you see how they all work. So these are the beginner 2 worlds that you do in the tutorial. But the real world challenges start from world 3, and then you have world 4, 5, 6, and 7. And going into each of these, the first time you do it, you get these drops from the enemies, which help with your character materials that you'll need, plus the artifacts. And there are 5 difficulty levels, so oh, I'm already running one. Sorry, that's why I see you saying that. So yeah, I'll finish the explanation of the screen. So you've got beginner difficulty level 1, then second difficulty, third, then level 4, and level 5. And if you successfully clear all 13 stages, then you'll get those points rewards to help towards your weekly total and the weekly rewards. And the other thing you get from in here is you also have this currency, which are called Immersifier. And if you have 8, you can have up to 8 of these. And for every elite enemy that you successfully clear in the universe, you can claim the rewards, which give you the immersion artifact rewards down below. So I'm going to try and grab a couple of artifacts while we're in here, hopefully to help improve characters. So let's continue. It is good that you can interrupt the progress, so if you're in the middle of doing something or bedtime happens and you need to stop, you can just take the pause option. So you would do that by pressing options, and then you can leave for now and save the game and so forth. So as you can see, I'm on stage 3 out of 13 at the moment. So let's continue. As here we have what's known as an events section. So I'll either get some rewards, or in this case it's rewards, but sometimes it's a combat match. So let's go and speak to the Aeon here. So here, and now this is actually a good opportunity. So here you can take the gamble of having a bad curio, so basically causes status ailments, but you obtain 300 cosmic fragments, which is effectively the simulated universe currency, to help with your blessings. Or you can just take the simple option and take the 100 cosmic fragments and have no negative status on your characters. So if I take the cosmic fragments here, and then the stage moves on. So here we're about to face an elite enemy.
Ready when you are.
So the thing about elite enemies when you're in the stages, and if you see, you have your status up at the top, so you can see what enemies you'll be facing and what rewards. So there's no statuses affecting at the minute, and the fact it's white means that the game is 100% confident that I'll beat the enemy.
Ready
If
when
it's
you
red, then generally you're probably going to get murdered. From past experience, anyway. So, let's switch to Kafka. So I'll go over my characters a bit in a bit. So let's use her weakness to gain some buffs.
This is double speed. Watch this.
So this is my elite team that I've been working on that you're seeing here,
Time
which
to say
is
bye.
Silver Wolf, Kafka, who are both 5 stars, Mark 7, whom of course you get for free at the beginning, and Natasha, whom they unlock later for free after visiting Jarlobi.
Time to say bye.
But this is a pretty good team to have working together.
Nap time.
Especially if you have the setup right for auto battle like I have here. As you can see, they made fairly short work of the boss there. So at the moment, if I go into my blessings, we're working on remembrance at the minute to gain additional buffs. And we're looking for a remembrance buff, which isn't coming yet, so I'll have to use some cosmic fragments to reroll. Oh, and nothing doing, so let's go with this one. And here we have one of the curios. So one of my preferred ones is the one on the left here, because that increases damage. Whereas this one, it's a random chance that you could get something bleh. And then you've got this one where you sacrifice all your cosmic fragments. But you do get an increase in crit damage by 24%. So that's quite a good one as well. But I generally prefer using this one, so that's what we'll go with. And because he was elite enemy, I got some material drops. So let's switch back to Silver Wolf. So we'll use one of our emulsifiers to claim a reward here. Which is triangle. So you get quite a few drops here. So normally two legendaries once you're at max level, a couple of purples and a couple of blues. So let's have a look at these. So here we got a space sealing station physical damage. And that one's a bit bleh. Okay, fair enough. So now we've claimed our rewards there, so we could get a chance to recover after fighting the elite boss. And so, when you get into one of these respite stages, then you have, if your characters are downed, and you can bring them back. Or you can also bring another character in, which is generally a good idea, because sometimes the enemies can swap around. So here I'm going to bring in Dunhang, because we might encounter some wind enemies. And then Herta appears to give you a chance to spend your cosmic points or buy a curio off of her. So here I'm going to buy the curio. And we're going to go for increasing the damage, because increased damage power is always good. Then she warps out to do her stuff. So now we're back in the world again.
Does that hurt?
Always best to start with an enemy that you have an element they're weak to. With Kafka, at least, then she just shreds them all, usually right at the start. So makes it very simple battle. So let's go with this blessing this time.
Does that hurt?
See what I mean? It's quite ridiculous. We've got the setup just right. So let's go for another Nicolity since Kafka is in the party. So here,
100% break.
got a weakness to Quantum, which is still the world's main element.
This is double speed.
And go. It's a bit unfair sometimes on the weaker enemies, lol. So let's go for another Nihility Blessing. And here you've got a choice. So blue is generally the easier option because in this case it's an occurrence. Or if you do want to get some experience fighting enemies, you can go combat. But being lazy, yeah, I'll go for the blue option where I can. Then here we have more rewards. So here I can sacrifice a curio but obtain more cosmic fragments, so I'm gonna go with that option. So, gonna get rid of this one because it's the one I can willingly sacrifice. Then now we're on to the second elite enemy. It's
Ready
3
when you
stages to elite enemy, then another 3 stages, elite enemy, and then you've got the big boss at the end. So here, and let's go back to Kafka.
Does that hurt?
Now let's give ourselves a weakness boost.
This is double speed. Watch this awesome move.
Time to say bye. Boom.
Time for a fun.
Stand still. Time to say bye. Boom.
Nap time.
One of the great things about Kafka's character is one of her abilities is damage over time. So in this case, she provides some extra shock and wind weakness damage, which is very useful on some of the higher level tough enemies. And March is pretty invaluable in my support role.
Boom.
And he gone. Oh, I shouldn't have re-rolled there, but never mind. Okay, let's go for that one. And here we've got another one of my favorites, which this increases Eidolon resonance level by 1. So what that means is you get more power, basically. And power is always pretty good. So let's see what RNG we get from Yuma Sapphire this time. So if I do triangle, so this time it only dropped 1, but that's okay. That could actually be useful. Okay, well, let's go back to the respite. And always grab your health and spirit points. And here, we are going to bring in Sushang, whose character I've won from previous Banner Wishes. Because she will come in useful for Japard coming up. And we don't need to revive anyone. So, I'm gonna switch me party just now. As unlike Spiral Abyss in Genshin, and when you're mid-event like this, you can actually change party members. So, I'm gonna bring Sushang in over March 7th. And I'm gonna bring Dan Heng in temporarily. So now we'll raid Kurta for a curio again. Now let's go for the random blessings this time. So we got destruction, good. And what this gives us is your resonance effect. So this is basically a support buff that gives you, in the case of Path of Destruction, it does what it says, it does more damage. So now, in the last section, 9 to 13, before the boss, is usually fairly simple stuff. Was there anything to break here? No. So let's do the occurrence. So let's take the gamble. So we can get rid of this one because we already claimed that that bonus. So now we got another 2 random blessings and more destructible objects. So that's okay. Oh, technique points. So let's go for the next occurrence. See what we get this time. Okay, so again, lottery of luck here, but let's see what we get. Ooh, that's a good one, because movement speed is always very important in combat. So let's try again. Oh, combat. So here's the resonance effect of destruction, which gives them some damage on the enemies and applies fire to them.
But a vision!
And this was why I put these 2 characters in, because I had a feeling these 2 enemies would be coming up.
Relax.
So it does run some risks in that I don't have my healer here, so somebody could die, but you always have to take calculated risks on things with your team setup.
Remember this moment.
Time to say bye. Boom.
This is double speed.
Uh-oh, here he goes with his hyper attack mode. Fortunately, we get our path resonance, so that'll do some damage. as one of the good things is if enemies have suicide weakness, and they do damage to the surrounding enemies, which is always helpful.
Relax.
Rise, Phoenix!
I love her special.
You're not going anywhere!
Throw a chicken on the enemy.
Time for a
I
fun.
hope someone's not gonna die.
This is double speed.
Think I got lucky with my buffs there, but it's okay. So let's go in for the destruction one. So now, fortunately, we have respite coming up, so I can heal Silver Wolf back up. So let's have a think about who we're going to bring in. Japad is weak to Electro, No Element, and Imaginary, so let's bring Yukong in. And Turta should allow us to upgrade some of our blessings. Because this is the other thing you can use your currency for, is to upgrade a blessing one time to give enhanced effects. So, let me enhance this one. As you have 3 rarities, so you have a legendary, which are the best ones. So any points you have should always be prioritized towards them. Then you've got the blues, and then you've got your general ones, which do help, but are probably the last ones, and you'll upgrade. So 3 more enhanced blessings, so that's good. So now we'll move on to the boss stage.
Ready when you are.
So here we have a level 72 Japad. Who's, of course, one of the characters we'll meet in the story in the future. So, let me set up the team. So here, I need Natasha. And then I need to put a Yukong in. Excuse my throat.
%break.
Now I think about it, I should have brought Serval in, but never mind. Yeah, this should be fine. Okay. Might get clobbered, but let's see.
Stay focused.
So this is the
This is
3-stage
double
battle, because he has 3 phases. So they get progressively more difficult as we progress through. So the first stage is usually
Time to say
fairly
bye.
straightforward. First phase is usually fairly
Time for
straightforward.
fun.
You ideally want to always have the elements that it says on the top of the screen alongside
On
his
my
name
command.
there to break the shield quickly. Because once you break the shield, then you can apply some additional damage to the health bar to bring it down quickly.
Stand still.
Which the team will now demonstrate for me.
Time to say bye. Boom.
So, that was the first phase.
On my command.
So with your power, then his second phase gets a little more tricky.
Didn't hurt.
Because he gives a buff to give his team more damage.
Relax.
But his main
This is double speed.
buff is he provides good shield protection to characters.
From the blow!
So once he gets to about
We stand
75%
together
health,
in the name of preservation!
he'll put this
Time to say
shield
bye.
on his entire team.
Boom.
So you have to break that first before you can do any more damage.
Stand still.
To the clouds. Nap time.
Which once your characters are leveled up, it becomes a lot easier. But in early game,
Just a little
it can be a little bit
Think nothing
easier.
of
This ends here!
Time to say bye. Boom.
I like the way he fell over there, boys.
Relax.
So that's the shield broken, so this is a big opportunity.
Time
We
for a
can
fun.
do a lot of damage.
This is double speed.
Stand still.
So then you go into
On my
his
command.
final phase and
Stay
he
focused.
calls in more
Time to
backup.
finish this!
Time to say bye.
But the strategy is pretty much the same. Just have to wear down the shield and
Just a little something.
try and counter any damage you're taking, which is where Natasha's healer comes in quite useful.
We're not done yet! In the name of preservation!
Watch yourselves.
Didn't hurt.
Quite a lot of damage there with those swords.
This is double speed.
Hopefully Natasha's on the ball.
Time to say bye. Boom.
Good go.
Stand still.
From the blow!
So the reason
Time
you
for a
calls
fun.
in here is she provides an attack boost to a fellow teammate, so
This ends here!
it helps with breaking the shield.
This is double speed. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Time to say
Okay,
bye.
eagle.
Boom.
Like so.
Nice. Let's do it again when you're leveled up.
I do love her after battle victory speech. So, we better claim our reward as you get 2 from the final boss. So, let's see what we get. Ice damage, really? I say that, but could be useful at some stage. And then what do we have here? Break effect, that's no good. Really, 2 break effects game? Okay. Blah. Never mind. Okay, so let's come out of the simulated universe to finish this run. So you get a little report at the end which shows I got 15 blessings, 6 curios, and I achieved the maximum points for the difficulty level, which gives my weekly rewards on the right there, sorry, right, bottom left even. So if I go onto that, no options, square. So you get I'm obviously at max level for the universe here, so I get the maximum rewards. But you get 115 stellar jades from various stages, so you get 225 in total each week. Because this resets weekly, so you can claim these every week. And you get 4 MS fires each time, so gives you effectively 1 free run for rewards each week rather than using your resin. And you also get 2 standard, 1 Herta ticket and a standard banner pull ticket as well. And the most important one, of course, is the one right on the end here, because that's one of the top-end materials you need for leveling up characters. So, that was difficulty level 3, because difficulty level 4, you need a team level of 76. So it is possible for me to progress through it, but I'm not really tough enough to deal with the final boss. So, that's... I think all the worlds are complete up to difficulty level 4. Let me just check quickly. Oh no, I completed that one at 3. Yeah, so I've done all the difficulties up to level 3. And then the secondary part, which was the main functionality added in version 1.3, the previous version of the game, was what's considered the new in-game content of Simulating Universe. So here, it's slightly different in that you're exploring to unlock the path of propagation, and that's done through exploring and progression. So I'm gonna, but that doesn't count towards your weekly points, so you still have to do the normal worlds to claim the weekly rewards. So I'll come back here in a bit, as I should then go have a look at my characters. So let me just check this. And sorry, assignments. Yeah, that's what I want. Oh, why are you not going on assignments, game? So this is also something that will unlock as I progress through on the other account, but there are 2 types of resources. So you have these ones which drop from enemies, or you can send characters out on the daily expedition to claim these. You also have this option for XP materials, and you also have synthesis materials too. But from personal experience, I find it's best to just always focus on these, because you always need character materials. So the more of that you can build up, the better. And then we looked at the event page a little bit earlier in my other stream. So this shows all the current events that are on. And you've also got the past events, which, how do I access that? That's through here. So the previous events that are available are managing the Oramali, You've also got the Everwinter Museum and Boulder Town Super League, which is combat. So you can still claim the basic rewards from those, but not the limited time events. So the next thing, let's just have a look at Interstellar Guide. So I need to level up a relic, so let me go to my relics. So who am I going to get for level up to? Oh yes, I forgot. I need to do that through the main menu. So, let me first go on these to claim all the rewards. Okay, and we better update the notices page. Okay, that's fine. So then, the other thing, of course, you have is, like Genshin, you have the daily battle passes, is what you could call it. So, in Genshin's case, you get weapons, but here you obviously get a light cone, some of which are actually quite useful for the characters. So the dailies are quite straightforward for this, because you just have to complete all your daily training activity. And the other one can sometimes be assignments or fight a boss. But generally they're pretty easy. And then the weekly ones are a lot easier than Genshin, in that usually it's just a case of fight boss, complete simulated universe, go do domains, fight weekly bosses, etc., etc. And then you've got the event-specific stuff, which is related to the events. And then you've got your standard one, which is work total of 40 times, so make 40 wishes during the update. And then obtain a total of 15 stars from completing Forgotten Hall, which is effectively your Spiral Abyss. And then you've got a bonus one here for complete the Continuance mission. So, all fairly straightforward. The rewards on this one are, I would say, a little bit better than Genshin, in that there's money, there's character level up materials, Litecoin materials, and if you you also get 10 standard wish tickets, and then obviously if you go for the uber duper paid line of the battle pass, and you get fuel as well. Fuel is kind of your most scarce resource in the game, so you should always try and save as much of that as possible, because you will find that you need it sometimes to finish off a character. Probably the most useful one out of all of the Battle Pass rewards, though, is this one, because whilst I can't show you the details of it just now, this is basically known as the self-resin module, which basically means that you can craft a specific main stat onto an artifact. And thus, you can create one without having to rely on the RNG. The other one that's quite useful, but you get these naturally from salvage anyway, is this allows you to actually create an artifact yourself rather than have to go farm the domain. So you're not as... It's still RNG reliant, but you have more chance of getting something decent out of it. So, since I have to go into my artifacts, let's do that. And I was working on Natasha's artifacts, so if I go to this one, and we go to the enhance. So here I want to select the material. So let's go and set the 4-star. And if I go to materials, so here you can either use the legendary piece, or you can use the purple or the blue ones, or you can use material here, which gives you XP material. This you will build up quite a lot of, so you will find you use it all the time though. So if you do get artifacts that you can recycle for leveling up, it's best to use those. So if I enhance this now, so that completes the Interstellar Guide stuff on the day. So if I claim these, as you only need to complete the 500 points, so usually you may find you always have to do at least the daily mission. But if you can't, if you get the points by doing other stuff, then that's equally all good. So now let me claim the rewards. Once I figure out how. So how do I claim it again? Okay. So how exactly do I claim the reward on console? Not options. Oh, there it went. It was X. Okay. Right, so you have to get the arrow to go up there. Okay. That was a little bit, how do I do it? So that completes my dailies. So let's claim the stuff for the free pass. You will find you complete this one, takes a little bit longer, but you can still complete it quite comfortably with days to spare, which is all good. Oh, why do we have a new exclamation mark here? Oh, I missed something. Fair enough. Return contracts, by the way, is basically the store version of what you have in Genshin, so extra materials. All of this, of course, comes from your wishing, so here you can buy character level materials, and you get the usual. You can buy five special passes and 5 normal banner passes. So once you built up a decent total of these, if you do need any of these in an urgent hurry, comes in quite useful. The contract shop is basically the premium currency, as it were. So this allows you to buy these bundles. And then you have your standard crystal, and these are effectively Genesis crystals of the game. And here is where you can trade your Stellar Jade for tickets if you prefer to do it as a ticket. So out of these two obviously are very useful, but you have your characters. So this month it's Asta and Arlen. But you also get these 5-star weapons that you can buy to help with your refinements. So these are something that should always be considered when it comes to weapons, rather than having to rely on the gacha all the time. And then that's your regular daily login to get Stellar Jade and tokens. So, on to the next thing, because I don't have a lot of missions at the moment. Just to show it's only the main one that currently on here is. I kind of ended up going through this a lot quicker than I expected. And then this is my daily commission, which I'm not going to bother doing today. So, going into the character bank, quite a lot of things over the month since June. You've obviously got your quick select here to see all your characters. So, of the premium 5 stars, as they would be referred to, got Silver Wolf, Kafka, and March, of course, you obtain for free. Yukong is also a character that can be obtained for free later in the story. The main character, Natasha's free. Asta you get from that first one warp that you do. Serval, of course, is free from the mail logins. And then you've got Herta from Simulated Universe. Sushang's DPS from the gacha. And Dunhung is from the free character roster. Then Bailu is healer from the standard banner, who was actually the character I obtained from my first gacha pulls. Then my most recent was Japad here and Yanqing. Clara was the first, but haven't started on her yet. Then of the 4 stars, you've got Lynx, Luca, Sampo, Junji, Jingo, Pella, Hook, and Arlen. But all of them are very much long-term work in progress. With all these characters I have up here, I've just been focusing on them. So, Silver Wolf is, of course, my main focus, because she's my favorite character. And so I have her maxed out at 80 years, and there's no level 90. In this game, it's 80 is the maximum. She also has her featured weapon, Incessant Rain, which is very, very good. And then traces, this is the work in progress at the minute. So I managed to gather all the materials for her sub skills. As these ones all are immensely useful, I find, so I'm kind of focused on them. And then you've got her ability skill here. And then these are the main talents that you level up naturally through gathering your artifact materials and whatnot. So as it happens, I can actually progress with this as I have four more to convert. So I'll go to the synthesizer in a minute. That more than enough to do level 9. It should be said, though, that the later level ups can be quite expensive in material gathering, so bear that in mind. So, let me go to the synthesizer for a moment. So here, if I go to the key, so this is effectively your crafting table of the game. So if I make 4 of these, so I can do the level up. So now if I go back into the character, so if I level this up, okay, so that's fine. So now I need 14, 24, 28. So yeah, as you can see, a bit expensive there. But it is, I would say, worth it, but only progress the characters that you really, really like up to the max level, as you can get away with running the characters at lower levels. Hence why most of them are at level 70. But as Silver Wolf is my favorite, and that's why I've been working on building her up, as that will be her completely maxed out once I finish the farm there. So, as I was mentioning, artifacts are slightly different in this game in that you have 6 pieces as opposed to 4. So you've got the main 2-piece, 4-piece set like Genshin, and you have the secondary set, which you get from Simulated Universe. So these means that you can have 2 lots of effects going on. So for Silver Wolf, we've gone for... sorry, this is Kafka. If I go back to Silver Wolf, we've gone for Pangalactic Commercial Enterprise, because this one improves her effective hit rate, which, given she's applying weaknesses onto the enemy, it also gives her an increased attack. And then the second one is Genius of Brilliant Stars, which increases quantum damage, and when she deals damage, it also ignores enemy defenses, so pretty useful. Excuse my throat going. And then you have, same as Genshin, you have your main stat and your substats. So again, that's all RNG, as it were. So ideally for Silver Wolf, you want to have crits and effective rate or attack. And ideally, I would like to get some crit rate for this one, but seems to be working fine. Then the main pieces that you want to focus your creative creation on are for the body and the boots. As a lot of characters, you'll find you want to have speed boots to give them more turn ability. And for Silver Wolf here, effective hit rate is because she's applying weaknesses. And then the planetary set, which are the ones you'll probably be farming the most. You want to get the element of the character normally, or in some cases HP and or regen. So here, Silver Wolf finds that if you have better energy regeneration rate, she'll do her weakness bursts more often. So all comes in very, very useful. And no constellations, of course, for her yet. And that's when she joined. So, slowly working my way through as managed to get all of the talents leveled up, and still have some work to do on the main character, but that's something I'll continue. Pardon me. But yeah, just been progressively, gradually working through each character. So, since we're starting out on the other account, I'll be applying the same process rather than trying to do multiple characters at once, as can get a bit overwhelming. So, best to just take your time through each one. So, what I did want to check though was, can I improve anybody's secondary artifact set here? So we have, she's fine. March. Might go back in and run another one for her to see if I can get the piece I need for her, as I have the defense substat for her here, but I need another one to create the two-piece effect. Because what this effect will do is it'll improve her shield damage. Shield protection, I mean, not damage. So that's extremely useful. And now, that's actually a thing, because I might be able to show that just now, actually. Bear with me a second. Energy regen, that's right. So, and that'll allow me to show something else in the synthesizer. So if I go in here, you have artifacts here, because as I said, you can actually make artifacts here rather than have to farm all the time. So we want Billabog of the Architects, and in this case we want to make a link rope. So at the moment I have 195 out of 100 relic books, because you get these from salvaging artifacts that you obtain, the legendary ones. So rather than re-rolling, you get these as reward and can then create something of your own, and hopefully you'll get lucky with the RNG. But as said, if you do have the self-resin resin module, then you can basically make the main stat and hope the RNG with the substats goes in your way. But when I do get one of those, I'll do a video about that so you can see. You do also sometimes get them from events, so if you do see that, make sure to grab it, as it will save time in the long run for farming artifacts. So, let me make a link rope here. So, let's see. Can I see what it is? Oh, that's your lock option, fair enough. Okay, so normally I would just click on it on PC, but it doesn't appear I can actually view what stat it gave me. Oh no, here it is. Sorry, I was just scrolled too far down. Duh. So that's no good, because that's attack. So what you then do is, if you go back into your inventory, and you go to salvage, obviously you can lock anything that you think will be useful. So I've kept a few things here, because I'm not sure whether I might need them at some stage. But most of the time you'll just put them all in the salvage box to get your tokens, and then make something else. Because ideally I need to get some wind damage for Dunhung as well, which may or may not happen. And if you reroll, if you salvage these ones, then it will give you experience points to level up. But I'm not going to do those just now. So, let me salvage these. So that will give me 70 relic remains. So now if I go back into the synthesizer, I can make another piece. So let's try the link rope again. And to give a defense piece law. So I could use that, but I'll try and focus on the stat I'm actually wanting. So let's go back into inventory, and we'll salvage that one. And if I go back to Natasha, and oh, what's she missing? Of course. I forgot I still need one piece for her, but that's fine. So, let me finish leveling there. The other difference from Genshin, I suppose I should mention, is the next level for artifacts is 15. So, you don't have to use as much materials, which is always good. So let me enhance this. What is going on with my throat today? Apologies. So here I had enough to finish the enhancement 15, which is good. Oh, and got an increase on crit rate. Well, that's always good. So that one's done. That one's done. Why do I have that on her now? Must be because... this one, that's right. Let me swap that back then. Okay, that's fine. So now if I go back in... And I might just have enough materials to finish enhancing this. Not quite. But I can use some of my purple here to give some extra levels, so let's do that. Okay, that's fine. So, back into inventory salvage again. Where was that one? Oh, how strange. Let me go back into characters again. Then go to Natasha. Huh, that was a very weird moment there. Not quite sure why it said I had one that wasn't locked there, but never mind. So I thought so, so let me enhance this Lakeland for a moment. And so that'll give them another level. Okay, so it's up to level 3, or refinement 5 as you would call it in Genshin. because all of that's just still the same. So, don't think I've achieved anything more here. Oh, maybe. Okay, that's fair enough. Right, so, oh, and last thing I should have checked in characters is what materials I needed. So yeah, I'm fine on those for her. And Kafka... She needs the other boss, so that should be okay. And March... So yeah, I guess I'll finish up here with them showing you Echoes of War, because that can sometimes be still in the nippiest bit. So if I go to the supply zone, and then we go to the boss. So, this is one other big difference from Genshin in that your weekly bosses are done through these portals. So, unlike Genshin, where you're limited to one run a week, and you have 3 runs that you can do in the week, and you obviously get 10 artifact rewards, but the main material you need for your character level ups in the later base. This one I've got highlighted. And then you can sometimes get the additional chance of a 4-star weapon or artifacts. So, 4-star weapon, I don't think I've actually had one of those from these yet. And like the rest of the game, you have the various difficulties. So initially, we'll all be starting at level 1, but then gradually you can go up to level 6. And now, the only thing to say different, and slightly different here, is you still obviously get the materials, but your actual gross drop material is capped and seems to be between about 3 to 4 pieces each run. So ideally, there's not that much difference between fighting at the earlier difficulties compared to going to being 5 and 6. And as you can see for these two, it's saying my team is too underpowered just now. So if I go to number 4 to show you, and then you obviously want to have the right elements to be able to do in the fight. So in this case, we'll swap Natasha to here. We also want to have freeze and fire. So here we'll use the main character. Now she does get a change of path later in the story, but I won't spoil that for the time being. And we also need... Oh, I need to start there. Abort. So let's do a strategic retreat. So this is the main Echo of War you'll want to be working on in the beginning, as most of the characters you get for free will require you to visit this world boss for the later materials or secondary stat materials. So let me try that again. And you get 3 attempts for the week, which doesn't seem like a lot if you're trying to work on multiple characters. But if you just stick to a group of characters at a time, you can sort of be more efficient with it. So, let me change that correctly. So we want Natasha for healing, fire damage from main character. Silver Wolf will take out just now. And we'll put Turta in for her place. But here, what we're going to do is we're going to borrow a support character. As this is one feature Genshin does do through co-op, but here it's done through support. So whichever character people have put up as their support character, you can make use of them, and they get credit for using the character. So in my case here, and because we want wind damage, we're going to borrow Bolt's blade character, because he is insanely good for the damage. So let's begin the challenge. As long as you're fully leveled up and prepared, then auto battle will work just fine for the majority of battle circumstances.
The fight is
The only time I would say you shouldn't use auto battle is when you're fighting Golden Heart. And I'll go to that quickly before we finish up.
That's better.
failed to send you.
Time to twirl! This big diamond, it's all yours!
So there goes the left hand. And blade gets incapacitated. There goes the right hand.
Forward!
Nap time.
Okay, there goes the first stage.
Savor it for me.
Now watch the one shot here. Yep, you saw that correctly.
Just a little something. Think nothing.
So now we go through his regen phase.
I'm okay.
Hey! Time to twirl! This big diamond, it's all yours!
Failed to send you.
Time to twirl! Lance, forward!
Your end approaches.
That's better. I'm okay.
And now...
Savor it for me.
See what I mean about insane damage from that guy. So, what did we get? So, we got 2 pieces, so just slightly under the maximum, but that's okay. And then we got defense boots, long, like materials, which I'll show in a moment. And then more materials. Okay. So let's come out of there. Only thing you have to remember after you do a boss fight with different teams is if you want to go back to your main character, excuse me, you'll need to go back into party setup. So let's do that. And let's swap you two around again. Okay. You also have the various machines in the space station. I like the fact the train's always here when you're here, so that's pretty neat too.
Your voice is like an alarm bouncing in my skull.
So, let's go back to the parlor car. And see our favorite conductor, Pom Pom. So when you're on the Astral Express, you're always as the main character. And here is March for the new mission, but we're not going to talk to her. Then you have various guest characters that come to visit if you completed their companion missions. So Luocha is here today. And Belt and Himiko are always in the main car, although I don't see Himiko today for some reason. I don't think there'll be anything happening in the other car, but let's just go have a look.
Is this a letter?
Let's not inquire on that in case I trigger some event mission. So then you've got Danhang's room. So he's not here, but various collectibles. I don't think there'll be any much will be in her room because she was in the main car. And these doors are currently locked, but wouldn't surprise me if perhaps we get one of those rooms in due course, so maybe another character that will be coming in to join the Astral Express crew. Will be neat to have our own room, so hopefully that's something they'll add. And over here, because it's not a specific world map location, this is where the Memory of Chaos would be.
Do you want to enter the Forgotten Hall?
Which there is a tutorial mission for. So here is, you can exchange your points to buy Mudcone for refinement. So, I believe there's only one of each available, but I haven't bought any of these yet. But I will do eventually to complete the refinements. And then the Forgotten Hall is where effectively your Spiral Abyss. So you've got 3 different categories. So the main one that you'll start off with is going through the various stages as you progress the main story and fight various enemies that you meet along the way. And then you've got the secondary chapter of this, which I'm only up to stage 3. Because for difficulty level 4, you ideally need to be facing level 80 enemies, so don't quite have the right combos yet for that. And then the one that refreshes every 2 weeks, like normal Spiral Abyss, is this one. So at the moment I've got 1, 2, 3, first 4 stages. But after stage 5 is level 78, so I haven't really bothered to attempt these, but unlike the other Spiral Abyss, it's just 2 waves of 1 lot of enemies, so it's a bit more straightforward. So let's actually go and try floor 4 again. Since I might be a little more confident this time. So if I go into this one, so here I'm gonna set up a Yukon Ertana. We'll have March to bolster the defenses, and I'm gonna add Kafka as damage dealer. Then for the first stage, and go Silver Wolf, Trailblazer, and we will have Dunho, and we'll put Natasha in them to act as healing support. So you get 2 enemies for each wave, and it'll tell you what your buff is. So in this case, you've got some Trotters, so they'll do more damage when defeated. And as always, you can see the enemy beforehand, so level 75 enemy. So I have the right elements for fighting him, and should be the right elements for fighting this guy. But this guy is particularly annoying with his attacks because he's very strong, so let's try him first. And there's usually support enemies with him.
Nap time.
So his main perk ability is you'll want to monitor your elemental skills and pick a target. So in this case, he's the main character.
Lance forward!
You will get exhausted after a couple of turns, but
It's but a vision.
So, the other difference from Spiral Abyss compared to Genshin is this one is based on turns rather than time. So ideally you want to complete it before it gets to 18 cycles completed, which is the number in the turn base that's going down there to 27. So, how's he doing? Still quite a lot of damage to do.
That's better.
Lance forward!
The sanctuary is but a vision.
Nap time.
So he's
Just a little something. Think nothing of it. This is double speed.
He does quite a lot of damage with that stomaching attack.
The sanctuary is but a vision.
Time for a cleanse.
So now he's being Silver Wolf, so... Oh no, he went for
That's better.
Natasha. It's gonna be tough to complete getting the number of cycles here again, but that's okay. So just trying to show when
This is
more
double
of
speed.
the endgame stuff.
Time for a fun.
Nap time.
So the big guy is gone. Yes.
That's better.
Okay, so he took quite a few turns, so my damage
do it again
wasn't
when you're
enough
leveled up.
yet. So let's finish this guy off.
The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Time for a fun.
This is double speed. Just a little something. Think nothing.
Lance, forward!
The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Almost no damage. Oh, well done there.
This is double speed.
Time for a fun.
Not a scratch.
Nap time.
Time for a fun.
This is double speed.
The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
That'd be it. Lol. So then you go on to second phase, effectively node 2.
Never let your guard down in front of your enemy.
So here again, reasonable elements, but not quite enough to be able to defeat them, so a strategic withdrawal. But once I have more characters completed on this account with stronger levels, this will become much easier. So yeah, that's just a rough overview of the latter sorts of work you'll be doing. And the other thing I should have shown you, which I'll just quickly do, is if I go into the Ascension required here, you can see you do need a fair amount of materials to do the final level. So just keep that in mind if you're ending up farming Stagnant Shadow, aka the bosses. But that's pretty much it, I think, for today, so I'm gonna skedaddle out of the parlor car before trigger the mission. Nope, I don't have map access. Okay. Let's do it this way then. So if I go back to the space station.
Time to log off. I mean, head back.
so I can get myself ready to do tomorrow's run on Simulated Universe. There we go. Right, well, I shall have Silver will say goodnight to you all and catch you all for Other Worlds Separate Ways DLC rerun tomorrow. Later.